You have been lied to by a generation of laborers who believe that the only way to the top is through the violence of the grind. I am here to tell you that you do not chase success. You do not hunt it down. You do not force it into your life through the sheer exhaustion of your physical frame and the depletion of your soul. In the kingdom of purpose, you do not pursue, you occupy. You must become the kind of person success naturally flows toward. You must become a magnet, and that shift in identity changes the very atmosphere of your existence. Right now, I can feel the weariness in your spirit. You have been pushing, grinding, and hustling, doing everything the experts told you to do, and yet the life you desire feels like a mirage, always visible but never within reach. You look at those who seem to attract high-level opportunities without breaking a sweat, and you wonder what secret they have discovered. The secret is not in their strategy. It is in their being. When I was younger, I operated under the delusion that success was about more. More hours, more work, more yes to every distraction that came my way. I thought that if I just kept forcing my way through closed doors, the universe would eventually reward my agony. But I didn't find success. I found burnout. I created a life that looked impressive on the outside but was hollow on the inside. I was so obsessed with getting there that I never stopped to become someone worth arriving. This is the internal transformation that makes everything else possible. The external world is nothing more than a shadow cast by your internal state. The opportunities, the people, and the wealth that enter your life are not responding to what you want. They are responding to who you are. A magnet does not run around the room trying to convince metal to follow it. It does not hustle. It simply is magnetic, and the metal is compelled to move in its direction. That is the sovereign state you must cultivate. You must become so aligned and so solid in your original intent that the right things naturally gravitate toward your territory. But becoming a magnet requires a price the average person is terrified to pay. It requires you to turn inward when the whole world is screaming at you to look outward. It requires you to get quiet when everyone else is shouting for attention. For years, I was a reactive man. If someone criticized me, I defended. If someone doubted me, I performed. I was living in response to external triggers, which meant I was being controlled by the environment I was born to govern. The shift occurred when I realized my power was not in responding to the world, but in creating an internal world so unshakable that the external had to adjust to me. I stopped seeking approval because I discovered my own assignment. I stopped trying to impress people because I was too busy being impressed by my own growth. And that is when the energy changed. People can sense your frequency before you ever open your mouth. They know if you are operating from desperation or from dominion. When you walk into a room needing something, they feel the pull of your lack and they withdraw. But when you walk in complete within yourself, offering value from a place of overflow, they lean in. They want to work with you, invest in you, and follow you, not because you convinced them, but because they felt the weight of your truth. This looks like brutal sovereign honesty in practice. You must strip away the mask. You cannot attract authentic success while you are being inauthentic. The energy of a mask is pretense, and pretense can only attract illusion. You must get quiet. You must observe your thoughts without judgment and notice where you are operating from fear instead of confidence. This process hurts because you are dismantling the version of yourself you built for public consumption. But on the other side of that confrontation is an unshakable clarity. You build a foundation so strong that the storms of life can come and go, but you remain standing as a monument of purpose. I remember when my life seemed to be falling apart, plans failing, doors closing. My old self would have scrambled to force a solution, but the new man got still. I realized I had tied my worth to outcomes, and life was stripping away the ornaments so I could discover the essence. I started making decisions based on alignment rather than approval. And slowly my life transformed. Not because I was chasing different things, but because I was a different person. Becoming a magnet means you must release your grip on control. Real power is not in controlling outcomes. Real power is in controlling yourself, your reactions, your focus, and your character. When you master the man in the mirror, you don't need to manipulate the world. You trust yourself to handle whatever comes. The highest level of confidence is not having all the answers. It is being comfortable with the unknown because you know you are capable of adapting. Most people are terrified of uncertainty, so they stay in survival mode. But the people who lead have made peace with ambiguity. They take action from inspiration instead of desperation. And the world responds to that signal. You are always broadcasting a frequency. If you walk with anxiety, you create an anxious environment. If you carry peace, you create a peaceful territory. Your internal work matters more than your external hustle. You can work 20 hours a day from a place of fear, and you will only produce fearful results. But work from a place of clarity and abundance, and you will attract opportunities you never had to hunt. Guard your mind like the sacred real estate it is. Pull the weeds of negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. You cannot out-earn your internal blueprint. Your results will always match your identity always. If you identify as someone who struggles, you will manifest a struggle. If you identify as a winner, you will find the win. Identity is the lens through which you interpret the world. Most people prefer to buy another course or read another book because it feels like progress without requiring them to actually change. But real transformation requires the dismantling of who you have been. You must step into unknown territory with only your faith as a guide. When you stop shrinking to make others comfortable, you activate a power that was always within you. You become irresistible because you are real. We are drowning in a world of performance and pretense. When you meet someone who is solid all the way through, it is like fresh air. That is the magnetism I am talking about. It is being the most present, the most grounded, and the most authentic person in the room. Patience is the requirement for this process. Transformation has a lag time. You change internally before you see it externally. Most people quit right before the breakthrough because they don't see immediate results. They return to the hustle and abandon the internal work, never discovering that they were rewiring their very neural pathways. When the internal finally manifests, it looks like luck to the blind, but you know it was alignment. You finally became the person who could sustain the weight of the success you were asking for. I wasted years chasing success externally while neglecting the governor within. When I made the shift, everything upgraded: my health, my work, and my relationships. You have everything you need right now to become the person who achieves the vision. Align your action with your energy. Move with intention instead of desperation. Say no to the good so you can say yes to the God-given. Busyness is often just a disguise for the avoidance of self. Slow down. Create space for clarity. From that place of alignment, your actions become 10 times more effective. You are no longer at war with yourself. You are a unified force moving in one direction. Surrender is the ultimate strategy, not giving up surrender. It is the wisdom of releasing your grip on how you think things should happen and trusting the process. You cannot force a flower to bloom. You create the right conditions and trust the natural law. Focus your energy on what you can control, your own spirit, and stop wasting energy on what you can't. Show up fully, give your best, and then trust. Your worth is not determined by your productivity. You are valuable because you were created with purpose. You don't need to earn your place here, you just need to occupy it. The sooner you internalize this, the sooner you stop performing for validation and start creating from authenticity. True success doesn't need an announcement. It doesn't need to post its wins to feel real. It exists because you exist. Raise your standards. Stop accepting mediocrity disguised as flexibility. Your standards communicate to the world how to treat you. If you accept less than you are worth, you teach the world you are worth less. Hold the line. Protect your energy. Honor your boundaries. Self-respect is the foundation of all magnetism. You cannot attract what you do not believe you deserve. Raise the bar, govern your mind, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match the leader you have become. The days of desperate chasing are officially behind you. You were not created to hunt for crumbs. You were created to attract the crown through the development of your character. If you are ready to stop the hustle and start the internal revolution that makes success inevitable, I want you to make your decree right now. Go to the comments and type, "I am the signal." Let it be known that you are the governor of your internal world and the architect of your own magnetism. Like this video if you are raising your standards today. And subscribe to this channel as we continue to unlock the original intent of your leadership potential. You don't need to find success, you need to become the person success is looking for. Start now.